most vets, 90% of them are white, 10% of them are black, and then there's me.
We got a ton. We got a ton of
But
Hispanics in
but
the Marine Corps.
oh no. Okay, that's true.
We got a lot of
That's
Spanish.
true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
We
Okay.
got a million Gomez's and Gutierrez's.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
70% of them are white.
I don't know.
20%
I
are
don't know.
Hispanic.
There's a lot for sure.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
No,
not a lot of Asians.
Yeah.
And they'll come up to me and just share things with me. But yeah, there needs to be a lot more of like, I don't know, spilling the guts.
Yeah, and there's a lot to that. I think the tough thing is like knowing the right people to spill your guts to, because you could spill your guts to the wrong person and that person use it against you.
That's
Because
true.
I've seen that happen a lot, especially in the vet community, which it really is honestly one of the most disheartening things ever because, like you're saying, we should be our biggest cheerleaders, should be our biggest support system.
Well, that's why you
we
got to
have-
be careful about who you choose.
Yeah, you
but
have to.
But you got to tell someone.
You got to tell somebody.
That doesn't mean you don't choose anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. That's true. That doesn't mean that you don't talk to anybody, but it's a tough thing to figure out, and you have to. That is a thing that each individual has to navigate on their own because nobody can make those decisions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough thing to navigate.
Yeah.
I do think that we have a lot of room to grow, which is good because that means that there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
And just because it's like, just because we have a real problem in this community with people committing self-harm doesn't mean that you don't stop trying to reduce that number. Just because it's going to always happen, is always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you stop trying.
Yeah.
And that's something a good friend of mine said. I'm going to be talking to him tomorrow about that actually. But yeah, I think we're our best friends and also our worst enemies. It's weird. It's very weird. It's probably the same thing I would imagine in every niche. I bet that there's the painter industry is like just the same way. I bet that people that are in the video game industry that make video games are probably like that too. It's probably like that in the musician industry. There's probably like they're like your best friends or they're like trying to ditty you. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So there's like in every niche of whatever genre of interest that there is out there, there's probably a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So I know you said you went to the Japanese
French restaurant?
No, the church.
Oh, Japanese
church.
Yeah.
And then you went non-dom.
Yeah.
And then you eventually got comfortable enough where you were comfortable with talking about
my faith.
your faith.